Hello everyone, in this video today I will guide you through building the real-time data pipeline to handle sensor data using Kafka and PostgreSQL. We will cover everything you need to know from setting up the necessary tools to writing and running the producer and consumer code. So the goal of this project is to simulate real-time sensor data collection. How it works, a producer script will read data from a CSV file and send each record to a Kafka topics. And the consumer script will then listen to this topic and retrieve the data and store it in a PostgreSQL database. So this setup enables scalable data processing for IoT application where sensor data is continuously streamed and stored and analyzed in real time. So before diving into the code, let's get Kafka and Zookeeper up and running. Kafka relies on the Zookeeper to manage its broker, so both need to be active for our pipeline to work. Before starting Zookeeper, I want to let you know that I have already installed Kafka on my system. I'm just starting it now. If you want to learn how to install Kafka, you can watch my previous video on that in the playlist. So to start Zookeeper, just write command Zookeeper -server -start.sh space $Kafka_home /config/zookeeper.properties. This launches the Zookeeper, which is essential for managing Kafka servers. After Zookeeper is running, now let's start a Kafka server in a new terminal. So let's open new terminal. With Kafka -server -start.sh space $Kafka_home /config/server.properties. Kafka is now ready to handle incoming and outgoing data stream. To confirm Kafka is running, let's check the active buckets. So for that, let's open new terminal. cd space usr/local/Kafka bin/Kafka -topics.sh -list space -bootstrap -server space localhost :909. At this point, you should see an empty list since we haven't created any topics yet. With Kafka running, let's set up our topic. A topic is a Kafka is where messages or records are stored and from which consumer read the data. So let's write command to create Kafka topic. So was cd space bin/Kafka -topics.sh space -create -topic and your topic name sensor data space -bootstrap -server and space localhost :9092 space -partitions space 1 space -replication hyphen factor space 1. This command creates a topic name or sensor data where our producer will send the sensor data. Now let's check again list of Kafka topics. You can see here our topic name sensor data. Now let's move towards the code. Let's create a new Jupyter notebook. I'm giving it to name producer. The producer script in this project read sensor data from a CSV file and send it to the sensor data topic in Kafka. Let's import first necessary libraries like import pandas as PD from Kafka, import Kafka producer to produce data from CSV file, import JSON, import type. Here we use pandas to load our CSV file sensor underscore data.csv. This file contains fields like sensor ID, temperature, humidity, pressure, and timestamp. Then initialize the Kafka producer. This create a Kafka producer that connects to our Kafka server and serialize our data to JSON format, which make it easier to transport in Kafka. Now let's write function to send data to Kafka topic. This function iterates over each row in the data file, format it as a dictionary, and send it to sensor data topic. We are also introducing a time.sleep function. Here we set 1 means to set a record every second and simulating real-time data flow. Now here is our main function to run the script. Now let's run the code. With the producer ready, you should now see the sensor data streaming into Kafka. You can check the streaming data on terminal. Here you can see the data. Now let's write the code for consumer which retrieve data from Kafka and save it into a PostgreSQL database. I'm giving it the name consumer. Now let's write the consumer code which retrieve data from Kafka and save it into a PostgreSQL database. Let's first import necessary libraries from Kafka, import Kafka Consumer, then import JSON, and then import scikop-j2 libraries. This scikop-j2 library will help you to connect a PostgreSQL database. Now let's initialize Kafka Consumer. Here is the consumer is subscribed to the sensor data topic and is set up to deserialize JSON message back into the Python dictionaries. Here we are creating connection to a PostgreSQL database using Psycop-G2 libraries. This time set up the connection and specify some more important details. Our DB name is set to sensors, which means we are connecting to a database named sensors. User is set to my user, so the database expects this username for access. Host is set to localhost, indicating the database is hosted on the same machine or a local. And the password is my password, allowing secure access for the specified users. When this line runs, it initializes CON, our database connection object, which will use to interact with the database. Next, we create a cursor using con.cursor functions. A cursor is essential for executing SQL commands and retrieving results. This cursor object lets us perform operations like running SQL queries, fetching data, and handling the response from our database. Now we are defining a SQL command to create a new table in our database. Create table query store the SQL query as a string, and the create table if not exist statement ensure that the table name sensor ratings will only be created if it doesn't already exist. Sensor ID, which holds the ID of each sensor as a varchar of 250 characters. Temperature of floor to store the temperature data. Humidity, another float to hold humidity readings. Pressure, also float to capture pressure readings. And timestamp, defined as a begin, which is typically used to store time in Unix timestamp format. Next, we use cursor.execute, create table query to send our SQL command to the database. This tells the database to execute the create table statement we just defined. And finally, calling con.commit function, save the changes. Since creating a table is a changes to the database structures, committing ensure that this new tables is permanently added to our database. Now let's check the table if it present or not in the database before executing the code. Make sure the database name should be the same. \dt is the command to display all table name. Here you can see a message did not find any relation. It means there is no table present in the database. Now let's run the code and now let's check the table is created or not. You can see here table name. It means the table are successfully created. Now let's define a function called store data in DB. This function takes one parameter sensor data, which is expected to be a dictionary containing the data we want to insert into our sensor reading tables. Inside the function, we start by defining an insert query string. This is a SQL command that will insert a new row into our sensor reading table. Insert into sensor readings specific the tables we are working with. Next, we list the column sensor ID, temperature, humidity, pressure, and timestamp. Then next we create a tuple and call tuple data that hold the actual values we want to insert. Here we access each values from the sensor data dictionary using it keys like sensor data in square bracket sensor ID for the sensor ID and sensor data in square bracket temperature for the temperature and so on. This tuple will be passed along with our query to insert these specific value into the database. Now we use cursor.execute insert query and data tuple to execute an insert statement, and the data tuple values replace the placeholder in our query, allowing us to insert the values into the correct column. And finally, we use con.commit function to save this new data to our database. Committing the transaction ensures that our insert operation is recorded permanently in the database. Here we are starting a loop that will run for each message received by our Kafka consumer. Consumer constantly listens to a Kafka topic, and whenever a new message is available, it processes it in this loop. Within a loop, we assign a sensor data to message.values or the actual data from the Kafka message, which is in this case represent a dictionary containing a sensor readings. Now sensor data will store this data so we can process it. We then print out the sensor data with a message data received to help us visually confirm that data is coming in as expected. So this print statement is useful for monitoring what being processed in real time. And finally, we call the store data in DB function, passing in sensor data as the argument. This function, which we defined earlier, takes the sensor data dictionary and insert it into our database. Each message received triggers these functions, allowing us to store new sensor readings continuously in the sensor reading table. Now let's execute the complete code. We need to execute first producer code, so let's run first producer code. It's raised the error. I forget to add values. So here I'm adding values like get percentage, percentage here. This portion of the query represents placeholder for each column in our table: sensor ID, temperature, humidity, pressure, and timestamp. When the query runs, these placeholder will be replaced with the actual data values provided by data tuple. Now let's execute code again. Now you can see the code executes successfully and we are able to read the data from Kafka. Now let's check is the data are storing in PostgreSQL database or not. Here you can see the data are successfully storing in the PostgreSQL database. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video with next topic.